Yeah, I watched Bear Claw's review, and I think it is awesome to get all sides. Your side, the armchair quarterbacks are funny.
Mhm.
Me being one of them for sure. But I do recommend people go and watch it and listen to this and go, okay. So they're up there. They've kind of got a gist of what the line's going to be, so they are prepared before they drop in. So they've got that. Is there a world where I understand, in broadcast and the show is equally important or more important? You've got to get eyeballs on it so that the sponsors are happy, so they reinvest. People got to understand there's a whole ecosystem here. Is there a world where you could maybe do 5 people and then do scores, or 10 and have like a show of the scores to give them more time to totally compare to exactly who they want? Because sometimes from my perspective, I'm not there. It feels even rushed for them. Like you said, they got to do it live. It's like, well, it's so important. Is there a
Mhm.
way to buy them more time? Like what does the future look like for it?
I think, there's always room for improvement, and I'm not against that. I've had a few athletes ask me about, why don't we just do it after the end of round one? Let's just collect all this, let the athlete, the judges collect their scores and think about it. Obviously that's not good for broadcast. That's hard for someone to sit for an entire round and wait to see the scores. They want to know where everybody lands, and then someone knocks the next person down. So there's that kind of drama that builds with getting the scores after each one. I don't know exactly how I feel about it, to tell you the truth. It's almost like, if you were to change it, like you're seeing it live and you're making that judge call, which I feel, again, I really trust these guys, and I feel like they get it right. I really do. I mean, if I look at it
Mm.
every year, and I usually watch the event over 3 or 4 or 5 times, depending, and I feel like every year they get it right. There might be one or two that could flop or flip or flop, but that's just me. Like, and so how do you? I feel like they get it right, but I'm also not like digging my heels and saying no, we can't change it and there shouldn't be change. This is like the perfect system. There's always room for improvement, and we'll. After the event was over this year, I sat down with some of the judges and I said, let's spend an hour, just debrief. What worked, what didn't work. I mean, people were DMing them the most nastiest things, which I just, like, I don't understand why people do that. Like, don't get personal with the judges. They're like sending nasty notes to them, and it's like they're people and they're doing their best. Anyways, so I think there's room for improvement always, and we're willing to talk about it, and we will continue to talk about it and kind of tweak the knobs. I don't think it needs a major overhaul, but I think there's some room for improvement.
No, I wouldn't say so. And I think you wouldn't be doing this event 25 years running, Obviously, there's COVID and a few years you didn't do it. Like it wouldn't be the event it is without being willing to take feedback. Like I think that's like a really big lesson I'm learning. Is like, yeah, I'll
Mm-hmm.
listen. I'll talk to the judges. Like I have confidence in my team. And I think it's awesome to hear that. It's awesome to hear a little bit more of the insights. Like we hear from Bear Claw, they're up there. You can be friendly with a rider and you can be neutral in the judging thing. That people are obviously making up their own stories. Like, one of the best ones, like, well, Brendan got robbed because he had a monster helmet. It's like, really, guys? Come on.
Yeah, really, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
no,
we
it's
could have come up with a
it
little bit better than that one, and we all have our own biases. I've got my hidden
uh,
biases, subconscious. So it's
yeah.
it's super interesting here. Like, yes, like you say, we all going to look at it, and even me and Cam were like, yo, we might have flipped those three. We weren't in the judging. We didn't have to put pen to paper. Like under the
Hmm.
gun, maybe we wouldn't have flipped them. And hindsight is that perfect science. But I appreciate you tackling a difficult topic, and you have to do it every year. And
Hmm.
yeah, come on, guys, let's not send judges
Yeah,
shitty messages. Like no, that's not fair.
yeah, it's not, and it's mountain biking, right? We're not curing cancer here, so let's not get personal with it. It's it is people's careers, so it does make a difference where people end up, and I think some athletes do get frustrated at times. I see a lot of athletes get frustrated at times, and then I think a week goes by and they actually watch it and they compare all the runs, because every rider that comes down, if you're at Rampage, you feel like you should win. And you've spent 10 days digging your dream line. And in your
Yeah,
mind, that's a winning line. Or why would you build it? Like, or why would you come to Rampage? So each one of them when they cross that finish line, think that, and they see, oh, I'm in seventh. You're like, what? I'm supposed to be winning this. Like in my mind, I won this. But each person thinks that, and there's no way that 18 people are going to be tied for first. So there has to be, you know,
That's an
someone in
interesting way to
sixth. There
look at
needs to be
it.
someone in 11th. There needs to be
Yeah.
someone in 12th. Then
Yeah.
there has to be someone slightly better than the next person, and someone slightly not as good who's behind them. So, and they are so close. I mean, I'd say the top 10 this year was like splitting hairs. I mean, it was literally splitting hairs.